And welcome back, everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta, and thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday night matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. We got two young quarterbacks going at it, man, in prime time. Michael Penix Jr. and McCarthy there. Oh my goodness, I forgot his name. JJ McCarthy is his name. My goodness. Sorry about that. But oh my god, man. Two quarterbacks, man, they had a great week one. Michael Penix unfortunately not able to get a win, but a great performance, willing his team to try to get a victory. It was a last second loss, man, but the kid looked good. And of course, JJ McCarthy threw three quarters on Monday night. It looked like it was going to be a rough night for Minnesota. It looked like it was going to be, hey, the kid tried, but it just wasn't in the cards. His first start in the NFL, it was going to be, hey, welcome to the NFL, young man. But instead, JJ said, no, 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 no. I'm telling you who I am, the NFL, and welcome. And they came back and destroyed the Chicago Bears on Monday night. What a fourth quarter by JJ and that offense, scoring 21 points to get a huge victory in the division and start out the season 1-0. And David, hello boys, I'm back. Oh my goodness, some Independence Day. Let's go, baby. It's a great movie. Great movie. 90s classic. Will Smith. Everybody just killing it on that one. But yes, David, we got David back in the chat. Let's go, man. How you doing tonight, man? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully your Sunday was freaking phenomenal, man. Good to have you back, buddy. Oh, man. But yeah, dude, this matchup, it's going to be interesting, man. Both of these defenses have pass rushers. Atlanta finally has some pass rushers as well. They traded for some. They drafted a bunch. They were trying to do everything they can this season to retool that pass rush. They have some weapons in the secondary that can really make some plays. They got some good linebackers. They got a front seven that is still under construction, but pretty solid. But offensively, Michael Penix, very new quarterback, man. Mobile, probably the most mobile quarterback they've had since Michael Vick. Not putting the kid on that level by any means at this point, but kid's got an arm, kid can run, and after that, it's just going to be about experience. What can this kid do? How much can he learn? How much can he grow in a single season? And he started a few games last year. He looked good, but definitely some mistakes. Definitely was still learning a lot, but this is his first season as the guy. Unquestioned, no Kirk Cousins, no, oh, well, maybe he can, no. He's going to be the number one guy week one, and the kid looked good last week in a loss. On top of that, Bijan Robinson taking that next step that you want to see from a potential first-round superstar running back. He looks as good as he's been. He really turned it on at the end of last season. Was once again still, they're like, oh, maybe Tyler Algier is the guy. By the end of it, Robinson was the unquestioned number one running back in Atlanta. So we're going to keep it going. The receiving talent there is a little bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes they look great. Sometimes they can just not seem to be there. But once again, new season. They look good. Last week, they looked explosive. And we're going to see what they can do here in Minnesota. And then obviously talking about the Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, if we get J.J. McCarthy in the fourth quarter, going to be a great game. If we get the guy that looked like the game was a little too big for him for the first three quarters, then I could see Atlanta putting up some big points early and then putting the Minnesota Vikings in a tough spot. But they have a good defense. They got a little bit healthier in the secondary this week. The receivers, obviously, Naylor, Jefferson, and then they also have T.J. Hockenson at the tight end position, and they got two really good running backs in Mason and Aaron Jones. So this kid is going to have a strong supporting group around him, and he does not need to be the superstar He does not need to be the guy that's throwing 350, 400 yards. He just needs to manage the game until he can really start to get comfortable in the second quarter, in the third quarter, when he starts to feel out this Atlanta defense. And then after that, just play, man. Just read, stay within the system, and just, Kevin O'Connell is going to give you all the tools. He's going to give you the plays that you need to succeed. Just execute. That's it. All right. David, I'm okay. Chiefs won. Would have been a nice. Let's root for some pick sixes and some spin moves tonight. Absolutely. Let's go. I picked the Vikings to win, but if they lose, I will not shed a tear. I can see that, man. I do. I think the Vikings are the more complete team. I think they have better established weapons at their positions. But I still want the Atlanta Falcons to definitely get a big victory because Packers. That's why I'm keeping my cheesehead here, making sure that the powers of the Packers are in full effect. Hopefully this cheesehead right here distracts J.J. McCarthy through the screen somehow. Don't question it. Don't question it. It's magic. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, hopefully we can get a big Atlanta victory. I do want to see Michael Penix Jr. get a victory in the NFL. I think the kid has put on some great performances, but it has not always been rewarded with a team victory. So hopefully that happens tonight on Sunday night. Let's go. Dahlia Rushkis. Hello, girls. How dare you? All right. Just because I have luxurious hair does not, you know what? I'll leave it alone. And David. Hello, Dahlia. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, man. Heck of a Sunday, man. Two wild games. A blowout in the Bills game. And what ended up being a pretty close game with the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs just about an hour ago. So let's freaking go. So from the looks of it, it looks like Atlanta will start out with the ball here. And the Vikings kick it off here to start Sunday Night Football in the end zone. And Atlanta will take a knee. Let's freaking go, man. And don't forget, leave a like on this video. It helps get this video in other people's eyes. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Helps out the channel immensely. We're trying to get to 100 before October, and we're working our way there, man. We're slowly but surely working our way there. So thank you so much, guys. I'm glad everybody's here, and let's just enjoy some freaking football, man. All right. Penix in the pistol. Two receivers to his left, running back behind him there. Nice little handoff. Bijan cutting it to the left. He breaks a tackle to the 40, 45, 50, 40 down to the 40-yard line of Minnesota. Woo-wee. Dude, I thought he was going to the house. I got a little too excited at the end of that one, man. I thought he was going to break it. Woo! All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 40 after that great first play on the ground. Single receiver to the left. Penix in the shotgun. Another handoff. Bijan hitting the seam to the 30, 25, and down to the 23. And the Atlanta Falcons are saying, let's just run the ball. It's as good as a pass. Oh. And the Minnesota Vikings take two haymakers to start this play. Holy cow. First run was to the left. Second run was to the right, man. Atlanta. Little combo move right there. Another handoff. This one to the left. Cuts it upfield, breaks a tackle, get to the inside the 20, down to the 18 is Bijan Robinson. He's looking strong, man. He's looking fast. He's looking strong. Yeah, Penix, 27 of 42, 298, 2 total touchdowns, and 0 turnovers against a very, very good Buccaneers defense last week. All right, we got 2nd and 5, ball at the 18, tight end in motion. Single receiver to the right. Penix in the pistol with a running back to his right. Another handoff. And Robinson nearly bouncing it to the outside, to the left side. But he slips on the turf and will pick up maybe a yard on the play. All right, first third down of the drive here for Atlanta. 3rd and 4, ball still at the 18-yard line. And as the play clock was running down, Atlanta is going to be forced to use a timeout here. Their first one of the game, very early, first drive. Not necessarily what you want, but when you have a young quarterback, you're going to expect some of those growing pains. We saw that a couple seasons ago when Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love first got going, man. The first couple of weeks, a lot of burnt timeouts early in the first, sometimes almost all of them in the first. But worst thing you could do is just say, it doesn't look good, so let's see what the kid can do. No, make sure everybody's set and get it right. Single receiver to the left, Penix in the shotgun with a running back to his right. Changing a few things here at the line. A lot of movement. And there's going to be a flag, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be either a false start or an illegal formation. False start. Atlanta. Yep, and this is where you start to get some of the mistakes here. Have to use a timeout early. Not everybody's set. Not everybody's on the same page before the snap. All right, so 3rd and 9 coming up for the Falcons. Still within field goal range, so don't try to force anything. If it's not there, dump it down or throw it away. At least try to get 3 points on this opening drive. And, oh, man, Minnesota showing a lot of pressure, a lot of wild, exotic plays. Brian Flores loves to change things a lot. Looking, has time, has a clean pocket, gets to his tight end, who will be 2 yards shy of the first. 4th and 2. Kyle Pitts, man. Michael Penix, man, looks like he's might be the first quarterback in Atlanta history to get Kyle Pitts going. So far, the first week he looked good. Second one, hey, gets an early catch, some decent yardage. In Atlanta, 4th and 2, they're going for it here. Atlanta having some troubles. All right, officially, I guess they're saying 4th and 1. And there's going to be a flag. Delay of game. Michael Penix telling his coaches, hey, get that play into me earlier. Come on. Let's go. Yep. All right, so kicker in for Atlanta. It is no longer Younghoe Koo. It is Romo in for this kick. A big change, a big change in Atlanta. Romo's kick is good, just inside that right upright, man. Ooh, that thing was. But Atlanta on the board first. Let me grab some water. My gosh. So just looking into Koo, if he was still on the Atlanta Falcons, he is still listed on their roster. I think he's just inactive. I think they're trying to get him right, man. He's been the kicker for them for a long, long time. We're talking about before the pandemic. That's how long ago he's been with the team. All right. So it looks like we're coming back here from the break. We're going to see what this Vikings offense looks like. Once again, slow start last week against a division rival, but then that fourth quarter, man, turned it on. 21 points. Just looked pretty unstoppable after a while. Kick is up. Caught at the 3, to the 15, to the 20, stumbling out across the 25 and down to the 27. And that is where J.J. McCarthy and this Vikings offense will start. All right, McCarthy in the shotgun, 1st and 10, single receiver to the left, running back to his right. Naylor in motion, quick throw to the outside, a little late on the pass, and that is going to be a gain of about 2.5. I think if McCarthy would have been able to get that ball out just a little bit quicker, I think that would have given Naylor a chance to kind of try to turn it upfield just a little bit. But again, remember, McCarthy did not play at all last year. Unfortunately, injured, tore his ACL. This is only his second game in the regular season. Receiver in motion, toss to the right, and that is Green Bay Packers' 5th-round pick, Aaron Jones, getting the ball down to the line of scrimmage. No gain. And that was number 0 there. One of the best names in the NFL, Divine Diablo. Yes, Holy Devil is this man's name. I love it. 3rd and 7, ball at the 30. McCarthy in the shotgun. Aaron Jones to his right. Similar route here and pressure. McCarthy running. And he will nearly get the first down. I think they might be giving it to him. I think that's Jesse Bates on the tackle. McCarthy lowering his shoulder and extending the ball for that first down. See where his knee goes down. Ooh. And they're saying he's short by half a yard. 4th and inches coming up for the Vikings. And, oh, I don't think he got it. He did not get it. It's a turnover on downs. Wow. We want a pick 6, not a spin or a spin move. Yes. I will gladly take a pick 6 from the Vikings. And JJ lost a yard, and that is a turnover on downs. Minnesota risking the biscuit, and it backfires. We got not a good. Looks like there was a little bit of a handoff issue. Yep. Ball never really. McCarthy never really got a chance to hold on to that ball. His other hand didn't even come close. Oof. Young quarterback issues, man. A simple snap. We saw that with Jordan Love too every once in a while. Actually, against Atlanta, I think. 1st and 10. Another handoff. This one bouncing it to the outside, and Bijan Robinson with a nice gain of 6. That was an interesting ball placement, and then a horrible QB sneak. Yeah. Technically, I think he might have lost some yardage. I don't think it was that much, but that handoff was rough, man. Rough. Bijan, 5 carries, 53 yards on the ground already. 2nd and 4, single receiver to the right. Penix in the pistol. Fakes the handoff, gets it out to Bijan on the screen. He gets a first down and more, down to the 20 are the Atlanta Falcons. Did he catch that one, or did that ball hit the ground? We'll see. Because there was pressure coming from that right side immediately. That was a good job by Penix, able to adjust and get that ball off, but ooh. Yeah, I think ooh. I don't know. And they're saying it is. Let's see here. So officially an incomplete pass. Ha ha, hit the ground. Whose side are you on, man? Oh, no, never mind. You told me. Ah. And once again, if you're wondering about the lights, we don't turn those on until we get a touchdown during primetime games. Because for primetime games, we need to earn the lights. All right, 8:34 left in the first. 3rd and 3 coming up. Single receiver to the right, 3 to the left. Penix in the shotgun. Minnesota showing pressure. Quick throw. Kyle Pitts inside the 20 down to about the 15. Woo! Little slant route by Kyle Pitts, man. Ooh, nice little move at the line. The fact that it took so long for Michael Pitts to kind of get going, it took a young quarterback to give it to him, to get him going, man. Holy cow. Some men just want to watch the world burn or the Vikings lose. That's fair. That's fair. 1st and 10, ball at the 15. 2 receivers to the left. Penix in the shotgun. Looking, has some time, finds his running back, Bijan, down to the 10, gain of 5. Great timing on the throw. Just good placement overall. All right, 2nd and 5. Receiver in motion. Shotgun, Penix, pressure, finds a man, and Robinson dropping that one right at the sticks. He was trying to make a conscious effort to get down before he taking a hit, and he just did not secure the pass. 6:58 left in the first here. Third and 5. If they get to the 5, they can get a first down. Single receiver to the right. Penix takes the snap, looking, stays in the pocket, rolling out to his left. He is going to throw, and incomplete, trying to get it to Mooney on that left side of the end zone, but just unable to handle it. And Atlanta is going to have to settle for another Romo field goal attempt. Like I said, the last kick was... It was literally basically right above the... Hold on, let me see here. 29-yard field goal. Kick is up, and it is good. Man, dude, Romo kicks him high. Jesus. All right. 6-0 Atlanta. But yeah, the first Romo kick, man, it was so high that it went above the sticks. But apparently, I think the rule is even if it's literally right above, straight on the sticks, it's still considered in. So I guess if you're gonna line up against the post or the poles, kick it above it. Otherwise, you're gonna have a doink on your record. All right, we got 6:48 in the first, man. We haven't really seen a whole lot of. We didn't really see Jordan Mason on that opening Vikings drive. We saw a lot of Aaron Jones. I wonder if they're gonna swap, kind of in and out, one drive, or just trying to see who can get the hot hand. All right, looks like we're coming back from the commercial break here. Just looking at the Minnesota roster here, who they're missing. Blake Cashman, it looks like he's out. He's on IR. All right. Atlanta in to kick this one away. And directional kick. Caught inside the end zone to the 15, to the 20. And will stumble out across the 23. And there's a flag on the field. And we got some extracurricular activity as well. All right, we got JJ under center, Jones, the lone back, lone running back, receiver in motion. Jones gets the carry. He bounces out to the right to the 25. And sorry, there was a penalty. I forgot. They're inside the 20 to the 15. And out across the 20 is Aaron Jones. Sorry, I was so focused on their on their roster here. I forgot that they moved him back. My goodness. All right. So yeah, Jordan Mason's still on the sidelines here. He looked good last week. 2nd and 3. McCarthy under center, single receiver to the right. Another handoff to Chris. And Jonesy able to pick up 1 yard on the play. So 3rd and 2 coming up. All right. Mason now in at running back. JJ in the shotgun. 3 receivers all bunched up on that right side. Look in, pressure, and down goes McCarthy. Woo! And the pressure came right up the middle, man. Nowhere to go. Atlanta doing a great job of kind of hemming the side so McCarthy can't just bounce it out. And that was James Pierce, man. So Minnesota going to punt this one away. So Pierce got there first, but it was number 54, Brandon Dorless, who was able to finish off McCarthy. And it's going to be fair caught at about the 27 is Alford. Laugh my butt off. But good job, Vikings. You look look a fool with your quarterback on the ground. Well, you know what they say, man. Quarterback on the ground, quarterback on the ground. You're looking like a fool with a quarterback on the ground. Dude, I completely forgot that Kurt is still with Atlanta. He's just a backup now. Also, it did not seem like he only played 6 years in Minnesota. I could have sworn Kirk Cousins was there for like a decade. That's what it felt like. You know what, David? You're correct, man. The one thing this game needs, it's not lights. It's not even a touchdown. Though it does need a touchdown. But no, not a touchdown. It needs more cowbell. Because I'm hankering for some cowbell. All right, yeah, I'm not going to do my Christopher Walken impression. Unless you want it. All right? All right. 1st and 10, ball at the 28. Receiver in motion. Penix looking, has a clean pocket underneath to his running back. That is Tyler Algier across the 30 down to the 31, but there is a flag on the field. I think it's going to be in the secondary because I did not see it on the screen. Oh, yeah. That's going to be on Minnesota there. Illegal contact. Automatic first down, Byron Murphy Jr. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. All right, 4:15 in the first here. Receiver in motion. Penix hands it off to Tyler Algier, who moves that pile almost all the way down to the 40, man. Holy cow. You just saw Algier just like disappear into a pile of humans, and then you just see that pile move as soon as he hit it. That thing moved like 3-4 yards down the field. Holy cow. Oh, man. Andrew Van Ginkel out of this game. Jeff Okuda out. Harrison Smith out. Cashman, I just talked about it. He's on IR. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Algier out across the 40 and plows his way through everybody for a first down. Dude, that guy's like literally like a bowling ball, man. Once there's enough momentum, it's like pins getting hit. First and 10, 2 receivers to the left. Penix in the shotgun here. Play action. Throws it down the field. Finds Kyle Pitts for another impressive first down. Jesus, man. This kid has a cannon for a freaking arm. Like, he's literally... See where he is. Yeah, he's right on the hash mark and then just able to deliver a freaking bullet right where the numbers are. Jeez. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 34 on the night. First and 10. Single receiver to the right. Single back in the backfield. And we got a flag. It's going to be a false start. This game is whelming. Not under. Not over. Just whelming. And that's going to be on Kyle Pitts there. So penalty, great catch, and then he balances it out with a penalty that will lose them 5 yards. Right. Single receiver to the right. Penix in the pistol, running back behind him. Tight end in motion. Play action, rolling out. Oh my God, delivers a beautiful. Oh, oh no, Drake London fumbles the ball. And it's picked up by the Minnesota Vikings down to the 33. It was an incredible throw, a very good catch, but almost immediately that ball just gets poked right out. Once again, trying to stiff arm somebody, not holding the ball high and tight, just holding it like a loaf of bread, and then popped right out. So many things were going there. Great throw, looked like a good catch, it looked like it was going to be a big play, and then immediately just Minnesota back on the ball. Ah, oh my God, that's the worst way to get the Vikings back in the game. Terrible, man. Dahlia OMG is correct. All right, I'm gonna grab some. I'm gonna grab a water, so I'll be right back. All right, man. Holy cow. Trying to see who punched that ball out. Oh, I don't even know why I asked. It is the borderline best playmaker on the defense for Minnesota. That is Eric Wilson, the former Green Bay Packer. God, man, I can't believe the Packers let him go back to the Vikings. The guy has such a great feel for the ball, man. Whether it's picking it off, whether it's forcing a fumble, or the guy is just a dang good player, man. Oh man, I wish he was in the Packers defense, man. The Packers defense would be even better, along with their special teams. Ball to 32. McCarthy play action, throws it to the right side, and he finds Justin Jefferson for a first down gain. Oh, actually, they're marking him a yard shy. I thought they were going to give Jefferson forward momentum, but he did go backwards in under his own volition, so he does not get the benefit of that. So 2nd and 1 coming up. Ball at the 41. JJ under center, single back in the backfield, single receiver to the right. Tries to get the handoff, and Mason goes nowhere, losing a yard back at the 40. Atlanta sniffed that one out. All right, 3rd and 2. Two receivers bunched up on each side. Tight end in motion. McCarthy in the shotgun. Quick handoff up the middle. Mason falling forward for the first down. Gain of 3. All right, man. That is the first quarter in the books. Atlanta on top, 6-0 over the Minnesota Vikings. Hopefully, we get a touchdown soon because I got to turn these lights on. Otherwise, my energy company is going to be like, "Hey, are you okay, man? We only saw you. You didn't use all what you're used to seeing, you know." Like, usually you're at this level, but you went down. Is it okay? I'm like, yeah, just yeah. The Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons, their offense sucked. They didn't score a touchdown. you know. Then the energy bill company will be like, don't worry, we get that a lot. Mostly from Chicago, but yeah, we get that a lot. All right, we're back here. JJ under center, two receivers to the right side there. Receiver in motion now. Play action. Looking underneath, gets it out to Mason, and will pick up a pair of yards. All right, 2nd and 8 coming up, ball at the 45. Play action, rolling out to his left is McCarthy. He's going to try to get to the edge and will pick up about another 2 yards, setting up a 3rd and 6 for the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, that was weird, man. Like, you would, like, almost immediately he started to run. Didn't really even try to look downfield. So 3rd and 6, 3 receivers on the right side. McCarthy in the shotgun with a running back to his left. Pressure, and he gets the ball out there. Great throw and an even better catch. There you go, man. Yeah, McCarthy had to really put some sauce on that one. Jalen Naylor, man. Heck of a catch. 1st down for the Vikings. They are in Atlanta territory. All right. Ball at the 41. McCarthy under center. Hands it off to Mason, who's got some momentum, and he'll get it down to the 35. Nice gain of 6 from the former 49er. That was quite a catch. Absolutely, man. That was a full high point the ball situation right there. That was like what you see at the combine, where they're basically just like in a spot and try to jump as far as you can. 2nd and 4. Single receiver to the left, and we got I believe a false start here on Minnesota. Yes, it is. Losing 5 yards, so 2nd and 9 coming up. And that is on Will Fries, the one of the 2 offensive guards that the Minnesota Vikings signed from the Colts this offseason. JJ in the shotgun, single receiver to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Mason, and he's going to fight his way. At first, it looked like a 5-yard gain, and that turns into an 8-yard run after all is said and done. Sets up a 3rd and short. It might be 3rd and inches, actually. Jeez. Yep. Definitely got some help from an offensive lineman pulling him for like the last 2.5 yards, but hey, it all counts the same. So right now, I was mentioning it earlier, man. The first drive, it was all Aaron Jones. Since then, it's been all Mason. 3rd and 1. He's been the more effective back. Hand off to Mason, and he will fall forward. He got hit right at the line of scrimmage, but momentum with some powerful legs got him over the line to gain, and that's a gain of 3. Minnesota keeps it moving. And just as I mentioned, Aaron Jones, he subs in for Mason. $10:50 left in the second quarter. McCarthy under center. 2 backs in the backfield with him. Single receiver to the right. Takes the snap. Play action. Pressure. And down goes JJ. Metaphorically, because he stayed on his feet, but he got sacked. And I believe that was Leonard Floyd able to get to him. Oh, yeah. I mean, nobody blocked Leonard Floyd. Just a free rush to the passer from the blind side. So, single receiver to the left. McCarthy in the shotgun. Has some time. And he tries to get it to TJ Hawkinson over the middle. And that play will be broken up by Divine Diablo. Yeah, unfortunately, the former Detroit Lion tight end unable to haul that one in. Stops the clock at 10 minutes exactly. 3rd and 18, ball back at the 39. McCarthy alone in the shotgun, looking, has time, throws it over the middle, and finds his receiver for an incomplete pass. Actually, that is oh no. They are saying Adam Thielen able to haul it in, able to hold on to it just enough before the ball popped out. Okay. The ball did get loose when he hit the ground, but it never really fell out until much later. So, heck of a throw, heck of a catch. McCarthy, ball to 19, throws it to the right side. And that is an incredible catch by Naylor down to the 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the offense. This is the J.J. McCarthy that we saw in the 4th quarter against Chicago. Delivering freaking dots to the sideline. Also, Atlanta only had 10 defenders on the field. All right. 1st and goal, ball at the 2. Receiver in motion. Oh, fumble! JJ somehow able to get it, is running, is going to throw, and incomplete. A near disaster turns into a near touchdown for Justin Jefferson and crew. Jesus. Faked like he was going to pitch it to Mason going to the right side, but the ball just slipped out of his hands. Able to literally dribble it to himself, got off of his knees, delivered the ball, and nearly scored a touchdown. All right. I think they're not going to mess around with a pass here. I would be surprised if they don't run it. We'll probably do a play action at the very least. And 2nd and goal and penalty. And it's going to be a delay game on the Vikings. So moving back to the 7. You saw that with Michael Penix early in the game. Now you're seeing it with J.J. McCarthy, man. Young quarterbacks. They gotta have the play clock in their head. They gotta go. They gotta go. And it's not like an Aaron Rodgers or a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady where like they can break the huddle with like anywhere between 6 to even as little as like 4 seconds, and just diagnose the defense, get a snap, and go. But not these young guys. They need some time to process. Handoff, fake, and JJ goes down for another sack from the blind side, and the Atlanta Falcons delivering some pressure. That is Walker with a heck of a sack. I don't know who Walker is. I'm going to have to look him up here. Jalen Walker, the rookie. Once again, coming from the blind side there. Georgia Bulldog. Ah, dang. Yeah, he's built like a Georgia defender. Not gonna lie. All right, 3rd and goal, all the way back at the 14. McCarthy gonna run, and he's gonna get sacked again. Dropped at the 15, and the pressure is beginning to get to this young man. He's literally taking just a beat or two after the drop, and if it's not there, he's trying to take off. Whew. Yeah, but isn't it the 4th quarter yet? Not yet, man. Not yet. Oh my God. I mean, at this point, once we start the 3rd quarter, I will turn on the lights. That's usually been the rule. It's like a skunk rule, basically, if the teams are that terrible. And Minnesota is on the board for the first time tonight with a Richard field goal. God dang, dude. Let me look this up. I'm pretty sure it is now 4 sacks for Atlanta. Yep. 4 sacks on J.J. McCarthy. All right, we got 7:06 left in the first half. Atlanta up by 3. We're going to see if that Atlanta offense can kind of get back on some rhythm here. And then on top of that, can they get into the end zone? Let's go. That Minnesota defense has looked good, man. They struggled a little bit in the first 2 drives to kind of get something going. Granted, the second field goal drive, it was after turning the ball over on downs offensively. But man, this Minnesota defense, man, turnovers, they look good. They haven't been able to bring down Penix with a sack, but they've made him move off of his spot a couple times. Plus, they're dealing with a bunch of injuries, man. Yeah, like Andrew Van Ginkel, easily one of their best players on that defensive side. He is out for this game. Harrison Smith, the veteran safety who's been basically the captain of that Minnesota defense for the better part of a little over a decade, to be honest with you. Who else is out? They lost Blake Cashman last week. Unfortunately, he's going to be on IR. I don't know what the injury is exactly. And then they're missing one more guy. I'm just trying to think who it is. But, I mean, right there, those are big names. Those are playmakers right there. Those are starting caliber players for your defense that are out. Oh, and Jeff Okuda. That's the other guy. Jeff Okuda, who's a former Atlanta Falcon, a former top 3 pick by the Detroit Lions, actually. Kick is away. He'll be caught right at the 2. Oh, muffs the kick. And he'll be taken down across the 20 down to the 23. So decent recovery there for Alford after muffing the catch. All right. First and 10, ball at the 23. Single receiver on each side, fullback, running back, along with Penix in the backfield. Handoff. Bijan Robinson with some tough running up the middle down to the 30. Gain of 7. Second and 3. Similar formation, single receiver on each side. Penix in the pistol, running back to his back. Another handoff to Bijan. He's picking his way, and he will be about a yard shy of the first. Man, I'm not going to lie, man. I was hoping a little bit more offensive firepower, but at least the defenses are making plays. We're getting some sacks. We're getting some turnovers. So it's not necessarily a boring game. It's just not a super explosive game offensively. So, you know what? If this game finishes with like 10 sacks and like 4 turnovers, I won't be too mad about it. Third and inches coming up here. Handoff to the fullback. And that is a first down run for Tyler Algier. And if you're just joining us, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, man. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers before October. Right now, we're at 93 the last time I checked. So we're getting there, man. So we do every primetime game, every Packer game, any game that we can get our hands on the channel. We do, man. So if you're looking forward to that, please leave a like and subscribe. Appreciate you. Tight end in motion, 2 receivers stacked up on the left side. Fakes the handoff. Penix looking, has a little bit of time, but will run out of time. Finally brought down for a sack. That is number 15 for the Minnesota Vikings. And that is the man out of Alabama, Dallas Turner, former first-round pick from 2024. Pretty sure they traded up to get him, actually. Yeah, he was the second of their 2 first-round picks along with J.J. McCarthy. So second and 20. Penix over the middle, tries to get it to his receiver who will drop the pass. And that was McLeod, Ray McLeod, one of the other great names in the NFL. Took a hit, couldn't haul it in. And now we have a third and very long for this Atlanta offense. You can feel the momentum shift a little bit already. Even before this drive, or even before the field goal, you started to see the momentum shift. The Minnesota offense really starting to get going. It's going to dump it underneath to Bijan. He's to the 30, to the 35, breaks the tackle down to the 40, and will be about a 5 yards shy of the first down. So 4th down coming up. All right. Atlanta in to punt this one away. We got 3:30 left in the first half. Oh, great tackle by Atlanta's coverage team. Let's freaking go. All right, let's look at some numbers here. So Michael Penix, 5 for 18, 58 yards. Bijan, 5 for 54. Most of that damage was done on the first two drives, so not much since then. Tyler Algier, 2 for 11. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 35. Drake London did have that 18-yard catch, but he also fumbled almost immediately after catching it. And then they got Jalen Walker with a sack. Leonard Williams with a sack. And Brandon Dolores along with James Pierce with half a sack each. All right, J.J. McCarthy, 6 of 8, 61 yards. Jordan Mason, 5 for 18, so looking okay, looking a little bit better than Aaron Jones right now, who's 3 for 9. Jalen Naylor, leading receiver, 3 catches, 31 yards. Adam Thielen, 1 for 19. And then Justin Jefferson has so far been held to just 1 catch for 9 yards. All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 13-yard line. Aaron Jones with a carry. He fights his way all the way down to the 20. All right, man. Second and 4, Naylor in motion. McCarthy looking over the middle, finds his newest target, and Adam Thielen, who was traded from the Carolina Panthers to the Vikings. Obviously, Thielen started his career here in Minnesota, was a Minnesota kid, grew up in Minnesota, went to college in Minnesota, and then was able to have an incredible career with the Minnesota Vikings here. Holds a lot of Minnesota records, receiving records. 1st and 10, ball at the 26. Play action, JJ looking, throwing to the right sideline, and he's picked off by the Atlanta Falcons. Woo-wee. And the young man throws another interception. He had one picked off and brought back for a pick 6 against Chicago, and now he has another one. This one by number 33, Bowman, with a pick. And that is actually the rookie safety out of Oklahoma, the fourth round draft pick in this year's draft, Billy Bowman Jr. One of my favorite names to say, man. It just pops. Billy Bowman with a pick. Let's go. LOL, that was amazing. Yeah, and just to put that into what happened, basically he picked it off, but he landed on top of the Minnesota player, and he kind of just bounced off of him and got a picks. Nice job. Bijan with a carry up the middle, and will pick up about 3 to 4 yards. And Atlanta trying to get the first touchdown of the game. J.J. McCarthy clearly frustrated on the sidelines, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 159 left in the first half. J.J., dapping up his offensive line, saying, "Hey, that's on me. That's on me." Yeah, man. Billy Bowman. A Billy Bowman. There you go, man. All right. Like I said, man, the defenses are making this game interesting at this point. Neither offense seems to want to really score anything outside of a couple field goals, but hey, we'll take it, man. I'll take defense. If we can't get touchdowns, I'll take picks. I'll take fumbles. I'll take some sacks. Let's go. All right, we're back. 159 in the second quarter. Atlanta has the ball after picking off J.J. McCarthy. 2nd and 7, ball at the 35. Penix in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, running back to his left as well. Sends his tight end in motion and takes a hit from the right side, but there was a flag early in that play. There's a Minnesota player down on the ground as well. And that is Jonathan Grenard. You do not want to have that guy not on the field, man. They are already without Blake Cashman. They're without Andrew Van Ginkel. And Grenard from last season was one of, if not their best pass rusher, man. I want to see what happened. He's the guy that jumped the snap there. He's the one that got to Penix. And it just looks like a hip thing. Because as he swung around after bringing down Penix, he kind of just swung and hit a offensive lineman. But I don't know, man. That doesn't look like anything crazy. But maybe he just kind of like a, I don't know. I don't know how I have to describe it, but like something something that should have moved. But yeah, man. Hopefully Grenard is healthy. Hopefully he comes back, man. That is one of the best players, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. All right, man. While we're on the commercial break, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for watching, man. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, man. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers before October. We're close, man. We're really close. But yeah, man, we do every game that we possibly can. Primetime games, Packer games. Doesn't matter, man. If we can watch the game without, having anything crazy happen, hey, we'll be there. So if you want to continue to watch that, man, throughout the season, we're going to do as many games as we can. Last week we did 6. Today, as of today, we got 4, and we're going to do one more tomorrow for sure. So let's keep it going, man. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps out the channel immensely. Thank you so much. All right, looks like we're coming back from the commercial break here. We'll see what happened to Grenard. We'll see if he was able to walk off under his own power. Nobody cares about the voice. Come on. Let's go. All right, so the good news is Grenard is on the sideline standing. Still seems like he's kind of trying to shake off what's happening. He did give a thumbs up to somebody. So we got 2nd and 7, ball still at the 35. There was offsetting penalties before that play. So nice little run by Bijan, and he'll get it across the 30, very close to the first down marker, and it looks like it's going to be about a yard shy. And in comes in Jonathan Grenard, the former Houston Texan, back on the field after what looked like a little bit of a weird / scary injury, but looks like he's ready to go. All right, we got 3rd and inches coming up. Minnesota getting ready for anything over the middle. They have 5 guys on the line. And Tyler Algier to the 15 to the 25, across the 20, and into the red zone of Minnesota, man. Let's freaking go down to the 19 officially. Ooh. Atlanta averaging 7.5 yards per play there. Quick throw to the outside and gets it out to Tyler Algier for a gain of, looks like 4 on the play, maybe 5. And they're going to spot it at the 15, so gain of 4. Penix 7 of 11 for 76 yards. He hasn't thrown much, but when he has, it's been good, man. So 2nd and 6. Penix looking, has time, has a clean pocket, and not on the same page as Mooney. Once again, trying to find him to the left side of the end zone. Mooney turned it to the back corner, and I think Penix was expecting something to the front pylon there. Yeah, I think he was expecting Mooney to kind of carve that route down, basically flatten it out. Instead, Mooney just kind of kept on drifting to the back corner there. So third and 6, single receiver to the left. Receiver in motion. Penix looking, has a little bit of time. Oh, to the right, and unable to connect with Ray McLeod. Penix ends up on the ground. And hey, that's okay. He didn't try to force it. He didn't throw a pick. Didn't turn the ball over. Just throw the ball out of bounds, man. Take the points, man. Take the points. Once again, there's pressure on him too, so he did have to get that ball out pretty quick. Romo in for his third field goal of the night. He's been 2 for 2, and he will stay perfect. He makes it 9-3, and we still have yet to get our first touchdown with 25 seconds left in the half. And like I said, sometime in the third quarter, we will just turn on the lights. I want to give each of these teams a single drive in the third quarter to see if they can prove that they have earned the lights in prime time. All right? The reason we do this is because we're judging these teams, all right? If they're not entertaining, if they're not giving us points, they don't deserve they don't deserve the lights, okay? And when we have to turn it on just because they suck, we're doing it out of pity, all right? That's even worse. It's even worse than not getting something. Getting something out of pity, oh, disgusting. All right? If you're the Falcons and the Vikings, do you really want pity lights? Pity lights? Oh. That's like getting pity likes. Speaking of likes, make sure you leave a like on this video, okay? Helps out the channel a lot. I'll take pity likes. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be returned to the 15 and trying to go across the field and taken down around the 20. That's where Minnesota will get the ball with 18 seconds left. All right. We don't like pity lights on this channel, all right? But we will take pity likes, all right? So if you got a pity like, get in there, man. Leave a like. Come on. Come on. I see you. I see you watching. Come on. Move that. There you go. There you go. You got it. No, but I appreciate you guys watching, man. I really do. Thank you so much. 1st and 10, ball at the 20. JJ in the shotgun, high snap, hauls it in, and he's going to run and take a sack back at the 16-yard line. And for the 5th time tonight, JJ McCarthy goes down. And that is Dorless's 2nd sack of the night, man. Yeah, that play did not look good from the beginning. So high snap. I think also the Minnesota Vikings they actually have their backup center there because it looks like their starting center went out. Ryan Kelly was down on the ground for a couple drives ago and was replaced by Michael Juergens. Juergens is a 7th round pick from 2024 out of Wake Forest. We do have an Atlanta Falcon down on the ground. That is AJ Terrell, one of the best defensive players in Atlanta. Oh, no. Immediately grabs the back of his thigh. That is definitely a hamstring injury. He was a 2nd-team All-Pro back in 2021, dude, and very gingerly walking off the field. Looks like his foot clipped on against a Minnesota receiver. And immediately, as he was falling to the ground, just started to grab the back of his thigh. Ugh. So because of that injury, they will use Atlanta does you have to use a timeout here. So second and 13, ball at the 22, 12 seconds left in the half. J.J. McCarthy in the shotgun, 3 receivers bunched up on the left side. Running back to his right. Looking, throws it deep down the field, over the middle, wide open is Jefferson to the 40, 35, and taken down at the 33. And with 2 seconds left, the Minnesota Vikings will use their second timeout of the half and looking to set up a field goal here to cut the lead down to 3. And Jefferson just, beautiful. Beautiful. Faked like he was running a corner route to the left sideline and then just cuts it inside. The safety was so faked out that he just left the middle of the field, went to the sidelines, and Jefferson was loose. All right, in is Richard to try another 50-plus yard field goal. He is 1 for 1 on the night. And this one is right down the middle and just before the half. Minnesota able to tack on 3 more points. That was just a great dang route by Jefferson and a pretty darn good throw by the second-year quarterback out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy. It's another field goal attempt. Yep. Unfortunately. Like I said, we're giving these teams one more offensive drive in the second half. Otherwise, we're going to turn on the pity lights. All right? Oh, man. But yeah, guys, if you guys are watching, man, I appreciate you, man. I know the game is not super exciting offensively, but I'm not going to lie, man. I like the defense. I like what we're seeing. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right. All right. So total yards here: Atlanta 163, Minnesota 131. A good chunk of that came on that final play to set up the field goal. Passing yards: 66 for Atlanta, 90 yards for the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, a good chunk of that on that final play. Rushing yards: 97 yards for the Atlanta Falcons. Man, they are looking good on the ground. Hasn't looked always pretty, but they're being efficient, and they need to rely on that more. 41 yards for the Minnesota Vikings. They are averaging just under 5 yards per carry. Atlanta is averaging, they are averaging 4.7 yards per play, and Atlanta is averaging 6 yards per play. Let me see here. Both teams have at least Atlanta has 27 plays, while Minnesota has 28 offensive plays. J.J. McCarthy has been sacked 5 times, Michael Penix just once. And each has turned over the ball at least once. J.J. McCarthy throwing his second interception in as many games to start out his career. And on top of that, the Falcons fumbling the ball after a pretty nice throw and catch by Michael Penix and Drake London. Nothing in terms of time of possession, really much of a difference. Just 14 seconds split these teams. All right, Michael Penix, 7 for 13, 76 yards. Bijan Robinson absolutely destroying this Minnesota defense. 9 carries, 72 yards, 8 yards per carry. And Tyler Algier, a healthy 6.2 yards on 4 carries for 25 yards. So Yeah, man. I mean, Atlanta, you got to run the ball, man. You're averaging almost 7 yards per carry. All right. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 34. Bijan, 2 for 20. And Drake London, 1 for 18 on the play that he fumbled the ball away. All right. So while we're waiting for this halftime to kind of run its course, let's look around the league and finish up with a little bit of a look at see where teams stood after week two. Obviously, we still have this game and the two Monday night games to really get a pure full picture of what week two brings, but we can get a decent look here. So obviously, on Thursday, the Packers, my Green Bay Packers, getting a big victory over the Washington Commanders, 27 to 18. And then, of course, one of the wildest games so far of the season. I would not be surprised if this ended up being arguably one of the highlights for the NFL in terms of viewership. But it is the Dallas Cowboys against the Giants. It ended with a 40-37 victory in overtime for the Dallas Cowboys on the last second Brandon Aubrey kick. Yeah, they were just slinging touchdowns left and right. And when I mean slinging, I'm talking about some deep, deep touchdowns, especially for Russell Wilson, who was throwing some freaking moon balls all over the field. So Seattle able to run away with the game here, 31-17 over the Steelers after a tough, tough fourth quarter for Aaron Rodgers and company. Obviously, we saw the Rams be able to pull away from the Titans there. At one point, it was 20-16, but the Rams ended up finishing with a 33-19 victory over Cam Ward and the Titans. The Buffalo Bills handedly beat the New York Jets 30-10. We saw a good chunk of that that game before it was cut short. Patriots with a big victory over the Dolphins 33-27. Dolphins coming back from a big deficit. I think it was at one point like 12-0 or 15-0. They made it a game, but unfortunately they will fall to 0-2 on the year. And the Bengals, without Joe Burrow, hold off the Jaguars and move to 2-0, 31-27 over the Jaguars. In another game that looked like it was getting out of hand pretty early for a while, the 49ers held a 9-0 lead over the Saints. That game ended up finishing with a 26-21 victory over the Saints for the 49ers, man. And then we have the Ravens and Browns. It was close for maybe a few minutes until the Ravens just really put on the afterburners in the second half, and they won 41-17. And so far, they have scored 81 points in their first two games. They scored 40 in week one in a 1-point loss to the Bills, and now they score 41 to get a big victory over a division rival. Of course, the Bears and the Lions, it was looking kind of close. You know, the Lions were looking really good early on. Then the Bears were getting a little bit closer and closer. And then, unfortunately, the Bears just fell apart, and they ended up losing 52-21. An absolute beatdown in Ben Johnson's return to Detroit. And now looking over to the Broncos and Colts, we're in the late afternoon games. The Broncos, they looked like they were going to get a big victory. They were ahead pretty comfortably for a bit against the Colts. Unfortunately, they let the Colts linger. At one point, I think the Broncos were up 28-17, I think. And then slowly but surely, the Colts just whittled away at that lead, field goal by field goal by field goal, until they came away with a 29-28 victory over Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. And then a game that was very surprising when you looked at the final score. It was the Cardinals getting a victory over the Panthers. At one point, it was 27-3 in the second half, and then the Panthers just fought back, made it close. Still, it's not going to help at the end, but they did finish with 19 unanswered points to make it 22-27, a little bit more respectable. But Panthers still fall to 0-2. And of course, we streamed the Eagles and Chiefs game. The Eagles, it was a little close there. The Chiefs able to take a lead just before the half. It was a 10-7, but then the Eagles able to kick a field goal to tie it up, and it was 10-10 there, man. Looked like the Chiefs were going to be able to get going on offense, man. They were looking a little bit better, and then they didn't score a touchdown until basically the end of the game, and the Eagles come away with a 20-17 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. So that is your wrap-up so far for Week 2, man. So a lot of games that were looking like they were going to be blowouts that ended up getting really, really close. And then we had some games that looked very close, and then the teams were able to just pull away. So little bit of everything if you're wanting some drama in Week 2. Sorry, the celebration by the Colts there was wild. Surprised that they let that on TV. And there is Jared Allen, one of the worst human beings on the planet. And when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about off the field. Actually, a great guy from the looks of it. He was a terror. He did terrible things to Aaron Rodgers, to a lot of Green Bay quarterbacks, to a lot of offensive linemen for the Packers. Jared Allen, very rude player, man. Try to be, really good for his team. Try to get sacks. Try to beat our offensive linemen. Try to bring down our running backs for losses. I know, to me, I think that's rude. It's one thing if we come into your house and you do that, but when you go to Lambeau Field, act right, all right? Don't try to make plays for your team. Don't try to sack our quarterback. Don't try to win the game. It's rude. That's what it is. So, Jared Allen, I'm happy for you, but you're a rude man. You're a very, very rude man. All right. No, it's cool to see Jared Allen, man. Always seemed like a really good dude. Seemed to just love the freaking game, and man, dude, that guy was just always a freaking problem. Every single game. I still remember it was early on when Rodgers, I think it was like 2008, 2009. Dude, the amount of times that he sacked Rodgers in a game, I think at one point in a season he had, was it 6 or 7 sacks against the Packers in a single season, man. It was disgusting. It was awful. So, yeah. Jared Allen, obviously a Minnesota legend, former Kansas City Chief, I think also as well. So, heck of a career by him, man, and glad he's being honored by the franchise that he's really known for playing for. So, there you go. But yeah, but again, rude man, really rude, really, really rude. All right, man. Let's freaking go. All right, guys. I think halftime is coming to a close pretty soon here. So if you're just joining us or if you've been here for a bit, please leave a like and subscribe, man. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers before October, man, and we're close. We're just a couple more along the way, and we'll get there. But yeah, man, it helps out the channel immensely. I always appreciate it. Regardless, I appreciate you being here and checking out the stream. But yeah, man, second half is coming up. we have to get some touchdowns, right? We have to. There has to be something going on with these offenses, man. Eventually, the defenses are going to loosen up. All right. But again, we do every primetime game, every Packer game, every game that we can get our hands on. We will do. We did 6 games last week. We're going to do 5 this week. And next week, probably another 5. So if you're down for that, man, if you want to join along the ride, man, please make sure you like and subscribe. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, dude. 11 pressures, 61% pressure rate, 5 sacks for the Atlanta Falcons. The kick is away, and it'll be caught at the 4, to the 15, to the 20, trying to cut it to the sidelines, and will be brought down to the 22. So definitely some miscues early in this game for these young quarterbacks. They're showing McCarthy kind of dropping some passes, dropping the ball a couple times on a couple snaps. And then obviously the interception there to Billy Bowman. But typically these guys they seem to be getting better as the game goes on. So McCarthy under center, Jones in the backfield, single receiver to the right. Naylor in motion, nice little toss to the left. And Jones gets to the edge to the 25, out across the 30. And that'll be 2nd and 2 coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. And I have to say it every single time I see it. I hate Aaron Jones in purple and yellow. It's disgusting. He should be in green and gold. Come on, man. Ugh. Terrible. All right, Juergens is still the center for the Vikings. Again, Ryan Kelly injured early in the second half. 2nd and 2. Fakes the handoff. Jones, nice little block. JJ looking, throwing to the left, and incomplete, trying to find Adam Thielen. And that'll be 3rd and 2 coming up. Great coverage by Atlanta. They had a safety over the top, along with a corner basically right on Thielen's hip. All right, 3 receivers to the right side. J.J. McCarthy in the shotgun. Receiver in motion. McCarthy looking, throws, and he's picked off again. And that is Billy Bowman again. The rookie corner stays on his feet to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and down at the 9. Billy Bowman, the rookie, is having a coming out party, picking off J.J. McCarthy for the 2nd time tonight. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. So, first off, it was in T.J. Hawkins' hands, but Billy able to have a hand in there, bounced it out, but it's going to hit the ground. So, no interception on the play. Replay assistant is going to confirm that is an incomplete pass. And it wasn't really that bad of a throw. It was just tight coverage, man. Just tight coverage. Once again, it hit his tight end basically right in the hands, but just unable to haul it in. It was a great play by a rookie the kid looks good tonight, man. Billy Bowman. Juergens is a hand lotion. No wonder the ball is so dang slippery, man. That's why JJ can't hold on to the ball. Just Jurgens all over the ball. That's disrespectful to everybody. All right, punt is away. Caught at the 20. Fair caught. There you go. That's hilarious. I didn't even think of that, man. David, that's why you're the man, dude. That's why you're the man. Jergens lotion. All right. Well, Minnesota couldn't get a touchdown, and our last hope to get some proper lights is going to be the Atlanta Falcons. Come on. Ball officially at the 21. Two receivers to the left. Penix in the pistol. Hands off to Bijan, who will get it across the 25, stays on his feet, down to the 30, and finally taken down after a gain of 9. Bijan Robinson, man, having himself a night. You should refer to him as Jurgens all over the ball in the future. Jurgening all over the ball, man. Second and 11, single receiver to the left. I would be surprised if they throw this ball. There you go, handoff up the middle. Bijan with a hip and a scalp and will pick up the first down. Oh, they're going to mark him short? The heck kind of placement is that? I don't know, man. I guess I would need to see the play again, but I thought he got right to the line. All right, so 1st and 10. There you go. They spotted it correctly this time. Penix looking, and their play is blown dead. There's a flag. False start on Atlanta. Who knows, man? I don't know if, because I know Jurgens is the backup center. So if Ryan Kelly is healthy, we may never see Jurgens all over the ball ever again. So I say we appreciate while we still have Jurgens. You know, make sure we make as many references as we can. All right, two receivers stacked up on the left side. Penix. 1st and 15 in the shotgun, quick throw, and nowhere near a catchable ball there. So 2nd and 15. Trying to get it to Drake London. All right, ball at the 27, 2nd and 15. Penix in the shotgun, running back to his left. Oh, direct snap to Bijan. He cuts it to the 30, 35, breaks another tackle, down officially at the 37. Wow. Wow. All right, that was a gain of 10, so that is going to set up a 3rd and 5 for Atlanta here. Ball at the 37-yard line. Penix takes the snap, throws to the left, finds a wide open receiver down to the 49. 1st down, that is Bijan Robinson. Oh, sorry, not Bijan. Sorry, I thought that was a 7. That's a 1. And that is Darnell Mooney with a nice little catch. Mooney. There we go. All right. First and 10, just shy of the 50-yard line. Tyler Algier with a nice carry for a loss. I thought it was going to be a good run. He had a lot of momentum, and then it just stopped. Good job by Minnesota's defense. All right, 2nd and 11 back at the 48. Two receivers on the right side. Penix takes the snap, pressure, gets it out quickly to Mooney, who will get it across the 45 down to the 43 and about 2 yards shy of the first down. Setting up a 3rd and short for Atlanta here. I expect a run here, so condensed formation. Handoff. Algier picks his way for a first down, gain of 3, and the chains keep on moving for Atlanta here in the second half. Nice little run to the left, moving that entire offensive line there and just opening something in the back for Algier to just plow through. All right, ball at the 40, 1st and 10. Fullback, running back in the backfield. Handoff to Bijan. He cuts it to the 35, 30, 25, and taken down at the 22. Big run by Bijan. I believe that is going to put him over 100 yards on the night. Yeah, just a run up the middle and then cuts it to the right side. Just big gaps, a lot of space for one of the shiftier running backs in the league. 1st and 10, ball to 22. Kyle Pitts in motion. Single receiver to the right. Penix in the shotgun. Hands it off to Robinson again, who will pick up 3 yards inside the 20 in the red zone is Atlanta. Let's go. Are there still chains on the sidelines to move anymore? That is a good question. I remember they were talking about that. I hope so. I hope that never changes, man. Hope that never changes. All right. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. Penix in the shotgun, running back to his right. Looking, has a little bit of time. He's going to roll out to his left and get it out to Bijan for a decent gain, and it'll set up a 3rd and 2 for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, 114 yards rushing for Bijan Robinson. Penix under center. One of the few times he's been under center. Handoff to Algier, but he is going to be stopped up in the backfield. 4th and 3 coming up. And I think Atlanta is going to have to settle for another field goal. And out comes Romo to try to make this a 6-point lead for the Falcons. All right, it looks like we're going to get some pity lights. We're going to get some pity lights. Hope you never... Hope that you never chain gas. Thank you, man. Never going to chain us. Never going to change this. All right. Kick is up, and Romo 4 for 4 in his Atlanta debut. has given Atlanta all their points of the night. So 6:17 left in the third, and we're going to turn on the lights, but we're not going to do it by remote, all right? Because they don't deserve that. Neither of these teams deserve that. So we're going to do it like my grandfather and my father before me. We're going to get up, and we're going to turn on the knobs, all right? Just like the old TVs of the day, all right? And you know what we're going to do? We're going to complain as we do it, all right? All right. I'll see you in a bit. All right, you happy, Minnesota? You happy? Look at this. I'm standing up. I have to get up to turn on the lights now. I have remotes for that. Now I can't use them. You happy? Unbelievable. Oh, there we go. We got one. Unbelievable. You happy, Atlanta? Look at this. Like a savage, I had to turn on the lights manually. Oh, humiliating. Oh. Hey. Congratulations to these terrible offenses. Unbelievable. Making me get up. Oh, despicable. Despicable. Both of these teams should be ashamed of themselves. I had to do that. Unbelievable. Does that light look... Does that look blue to you? Because it looks purple when I look at it. Come on. Hold on. All right. That's a little bit more purple. There we go. All right. But there we go. We got the lights. Let's go. Unbelievable. Can't believe we made it through over half a game without a single touchdown on Sunday Night Football. All right, man. If you're just joining us, please leave a like, subscribe. Look what these teams made me do. They made me get up and walk over to the lights and turn them on manually. Oh. Terrible. Kickoff is going to be in the end zone. Return to the 15, to the 20, 25, 30, and taken down around the 31-yard line. Is Minnesota's going to be starting point here. It's purple enough. The Vikings don't deserve it any more purple. You know what? You're right. You're right. These teams are lucky they're getting lights at all, man. I'll tell you right now. Oh, look at that, man. Look at little JJ McCarthy. Rome McCarthy. There you go. Hey, congrats to JJ, man. That's awesome. First baby. First baby. All right. Single receiver to the right. Hand off to Mason. And he's going to be picking up about 3 yards down to the 34. All right, McCarthy in the shotgun, Mason to his left, single receiver to the right side. 2nd and 7, looking, dumping it underneath to Mason, who will be good for 6 out of the 7 that they need. 3rd and 1 coming up. The only way these teams can redeem themselves is to gift us a pick six. A pick six and a spin move. Pick six and a spin move. And guess what? It doesn't have to be all at once. But if they can do it, I'll take it back. All right. McCarthy hands it off up the middle, and Mason stopped right at the goal, right at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 1 coming up. Minnesota's offense cannot get the first down. Will they go for it again? They went for it on fourth down early in the first quarter, did not get it, and that resulted in Atlanta able to kick a field goal to make it 6-0. Okay, I thought there was a fumble there for a second for Mason, but it was just one hand in the ball. All right, they're gonna go for it here, 4th and 1, and that is gonna be a QB sneak. This time it is properly snapped, unlike the last one. I don't know. They might want to look at this here. It is close. But we're going to move on to 1st and 10 here. Ball at the 41. JJ under center, receiver in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Mason sidesteps a player to the 45, 50, 45, and down to the 41 of Atlanta is Jordan Mason. But there is a flag. Holding. Oh, no. So that'll wipe away a good run by Jordan Mason. And that's going to be on the left tackle, Rouse. So that's why Jordan Mason was able to sidestep that player there for a second. And another offensive lineman for the Minnesota Vikings is in the blue tent. Dealing in motion, play action. McCarthy gets it to Aaron Jones, but he will drop it. And that'll set up a 2nd and 20 for the Vikings. Once again, McCarthy unable to handle the ball, almost dropped it again. Dude, Jurgens is he's just Jurgening all over that ball. McCarthy takes off and run. He's to the 35, to the 40, and run out of bounds, but not before picking up some big yardage. And I think he's going to get it just past the original line of scrimmage. So a gain of about 13, I believe, for McCarthy. I'm trying to see here. Dude, this kid can run, man. All right, so 3rd and 4 coming up. Ball at the 47, and we have a flag on the field. I think this is going to be against Minnesota again. False start. Teams shooting themselves in the foot here, man. It'll be now 3rd and 9. This time the penalty is on the right tackle. All right, we got 3rd and 9. Single receiver to the left. JJ in the shotgun, running back to his left. Atlanta, quick throw, and it's going to be to Jefferson. I think he's going to be just shy of the first down, but they're saying the ball hit the ground. So 4th and 9 coming up for the Vikings. Yeah, that was not the best throw by JJ, man, because Jefferson was wide open. If he's able to throw that ball 3 feet higher, Jefferson stays on his feet, picks up the first down, and probably a little bit more. Punt away, and it'll be fair caught at the 17. All right, man. Once again, man, we saw JJ struggle last week until he turned it on. We'll see if the kid can do it again. We're a minute 35 uh, left in the third here, so we're approaching the fourth quarter. That's when this Vikings offense last week turned it on. Let's see here. All right, let's look at some stats here heading into the fourth. Michael Penix, 10 of 17, a buck 01 through the air. Bijan, 14 for a buck 15, averaging over 8 yards per carry. How are you not handing the ball off more to this guy? Kyle Pitts, 3 for 34. Yeah, the passing game really hasn't changed much since halftime, so we'll just skip that part. JJ McCarthy, 9 of 16, a buck 24 through the air. No touchdowns, has thrown interception. He's also the leading rusher for the Minnesota Vikings, 5 for 25. Aaron Jones, 5 for 23. And Jordan Mason, a little bit less effective as the night has gone on, for 7 for 21. So, 1st and 10, Penix in the shotgun, running back behind him, single receiver to the left. Hand off to Bijan, who will be across the 20, just shy of the 21. It's going to be a nice gain of about 3. All right, 2nd and 6. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. Penix takes the snap, looking pressured, and over the middle, takes a sack at the 11. And that is no one other than Jonathan Grenard, one of the best pass rushers in the game, taking down the 2nd-year quarterback. Just a nice little stunt on the left side there. Whew. It's a rough sack to take, but there was not much going there, man. That was a rough play for the offensive line. 3rd and 14, single receiver to the left. Penix look in, has a little bit of time, has to throw it out quick, and pass is broken up. And so far, the defenses in the second half have been actually the entire game, they have been freaking ruling the day. Haven't given up a single touchdown to either team. Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver, and Martellus, number 44, coming down with some bad intentions and able to get his hand on the ball to bat it away. We still have 10 seconds left here in the third. Nice little bounce. We'll get it to the 43, across the 45, and will be tackled at the 48. And Minnesota will start with some great field position in the fourth quarter. We go. All right, man. All right, man. And that was the other offensive lineman that ended up getting hurt on the last offensive Minnesota drive was Justin Skoll. He was a former sixth-round pick back in 2019 out of Vanderbilt for San Francisco. He spent 3 years there before spending 3 years with Tampa Bay, and this is his first season with the Minnesota Vikings. So yeah, he's been mostly a reserve player. He only started 4 games with San Francisco in 2020. He did play in all 16, but in 2021 he tore his ACL, was out for the year, and then the 49ers cut him before his third season. He was a practice squad player for the Buccaneers before being released, re-signed, and then was basically just kind of a backup for about a year and a half over there in Tampa. And then his final season was his most productive, where he basically started 5 games, filling in for the injured offensive lineman before signing with Minnesota. But yeah, so Ryan Kelly and Justin Skoll out for this game, or at least injured, I should say, in this game. And we have gotten Michael Juergens quite a bit here. All right. We are back now to start the fourth quarter here on Sunday Night Football, man. It has been a defensive powerhouse, basically. Each offense kind of struggling to move the ball. So, but Minnesota with the best field position to start their drive in this game. So 1st and 10, ball at the 48. JJ sacked, fumble, recovered by Atlanta. And McCarthy just having one of the roughest nights after the high highs of week 1. This is, I think you can officially say this is this young man's official welcome to the NFL. So that was number 96, Zach Harris, with the sack strip, and then Divine Diablo with the recovery. McCarthy on the sidelines, very, very frustrated. 1st and 10, ball at the 38 of Minnesota. Penix hands it off to Bijan. He cuts it upfield and out across the 30 and nearly broke loose. Picked up about 8 yards on the run. JJ still very much pacing on the sidelines, very frustrated, still has his helmet on. Second and 2, ball at the 30. Single receiver to the right. Drake London in motion. Penix in the shotgun with a running back to his. Oh, it's a nice little handoff to Robinson, who spin move, breaks the tackle, gets a first down just enough. Hey, we got our spin move. Let's go, baby. That was a beautiful little. Look at the form. Look at the pirouette. Oh, beautiful form. That's how you spin move, man. That's how you spin move. Dallas Turner barely able to bring him down. Bijan 17 for a $128 on the ground and another first down. Spin move. Let's go. Leave a like for spin moves, man. Subscribe. Nice little turn. Oh, woo. Bijan, Minnesota knows that he's going to get the ball here. So loss of 2 on that run. Rodgers able to bring him down behind the line. I think that's only the second time I've seen Bijan Robinson be brought down for a loss in this game. He's been averaging 8 yards per carry, man. He's been incredible. Also, just an insane change of direction, man. He was running to the left, literally planted his feet, and then just cut straight to the, running to the right, and then ran to the left. Penix pressured, and down he goes back at the 40 is Michael Penix. And, man, dude, these defenses are just running roughshod, dude. These young quarterbacks, man, they are just holding on to the ball way too much. Right there. Go, go. Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. To be fair, these offensive lines are playing like dog poo-poo right now. But you can't take a sack like that, man. Not when you're in field goal range. Just throw it away. If it's not there after 2 seconds, just throw it away. Throw it away. 3rd and 21. Penix finds Kyle Pitts, but the play is going to be blown dead, and it's going to be a timeout for Atlanta. Whew. Oh, yeah. David, we finally got our spin move, man. We just need a pick 6 now. All right. Ball at the 39. You would want to pick up 5 to 8 yards here to make this a little bit more manageable. Kyle Pitts in motion. Penix throws to Kyle on the left side, and he'll pick up about 3 or 4. So, they're only giving him 2. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like that play. If you're going to do that short of a route, just give it to one of your running backs. I guarantee you the Minnesota Vikings would have given you more than just 2 or 3 yards. They would have given up about 5 or 6, man. All right, man. This is a huge, huge kick, man. 54 yards. If he gets this one, it is a full 2-possession lead. Romo, 4 for 4. Can he make it 5 for 5? And he does! Oh, baby. He got it, man. He freaking got it. 5 for 5, 15 to 6. Atlanta up by 9, 2 possessions. I will cheer for anyone who has Romo on their fantasy league this week. It's a risky proposition, man, especially for Atlanta. But yeah, man, if you had the guts to put Romo as your starting kicker, hats off to you, man. Because especially if you get bonus points for the length of field goals, I know some leagues don't do that, which is insane. Yeah, man, this guy might be saving your fantasy week if he's your starting kicker. Speaking of speaking of fantasy, let me check out my fantasy. Oh boy. Man. It was a weird week, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Josh Allen didn't have a great game. Chuba Hubbard had a great second half, man. It looked like it was gonna be a disaster for me. And then David Montgomery, solid game. CeeDee Lamb, really solid game. St. Brown gave me 40 points. Insane. Tyler Warren gave me 12. Freaking Broncos defense lost me 5 points. And Jake Bates, freaking only 9 points, missed a field goal too. You better shake up, Bates. All right, I'll replace you. I'll pick up Romo. All right, man. You hear me, Jake Bates? Get your stuff together. All right. We win in this game. All right, man. Come on. Yeah. Otherwise, my bench was not great. I only had one player that I probably should have started, but I wasn't sure. How many points did the Lions kicker get in their 52-point win? Probably not 15. No, he did not. He got 9 points. He got 3 points from field goals and then 7 points on extra points, but he did lose a point because he missed a kick. So could have had 10 if he was, or actually could have had more than 10 if he would have made it. And it's going to be returned just shy of the 20. We have 11-11 left in the game. Atlanta up by 2 possessions, up by 9 points, man. All right, 1st and 10, ball to 19. J.J. McCarthy in the shotgun. Hands it off to Mason, who is going to break a tackle to the 20, 25, and taken down finally at the 26. Nice, hard running by the former San Francisco 49er. Hey, and there's Jeff Ulbrich, the former interim head coach for the Jets. All right, Carthy under center. Single receiver to the left. Mason in the backfield. 2nd and 4. Hand off to Mason, and he's going to bounce off a defender and pick up positive yardage. It'll be 3rd and 1 coming up for Minnesota. All right, J.J. McCarthy in the shotgun. Running back to his right. 2 receivers to the left side there. Actually, 3 receivers to the left side. Throwing to the left. Wide open and overthrows Jalen Naylor, who had 3 yards. Oh, my God, man. That was painful, dog. Dude, he beat his man off the line. He beat Billy Bowman off the line, man. Atlanta dodges a bullet. Kevin O'Connell is like, what, why? Why? All right, man. Minnesota having to punt this one away again. Fair caught at the 16. Actually, I think they're going to mark him at the 17. There you go. Brooks. Nice handle on that one. 9:39 left in the game. But what about you, David? Did you do fantasy, or or did you just do the pick'ems? Let me know. Let me know. Mm-mm-mm. Let me see here. So yeah, Parker for Romo, he actually started his career in Atlanta with New Orleans. Actually, sorry. Then he kind of bounced around the league for a little bit. He was actually in Minnesota last year, where he was actually 11 of 12 for them as their place kicker. And actually, it was his. So yeah, he even though he started his career with the Saints, he never actually was in a game until last season with Minnesota. His NFL debut came against the Jaguars, where he was a perfect 4 for 4 in a 12-7 victory for the Vikings. Wow. I'm not part of any fantasy team, just my own site I built where me and my wife and a friend pick every regular season game outcome before the season starts. Oh, dude, yeah, I remember you telling me that. Okay. Heck yeah, dude. That sounds awesome. That's freaking awesome, man. Man, built your own site, man. Heck yeah. All right, we got 1st and 10 here. We're back. We got 2 receivers on the right side. Penix in the shotgun. Handoff to Bijan, and he'll pick up about 2 yards down to the 19. So when it comes to picking every game right now, who's in the lead, man? You, the wife, or the friend? Let me know. Let me know. I know. I think you said that historically, you and your wife have kind of gone back and forth a little bit. But who's starting out the season well? All right, we got 2nd and 8. 2 receivers. Sorry, a single receiver to the right. Penix in the shotgun with Bijan behind him there. Nice little handoff. Bijan hits the hole and will pick up about 5 yards down to the 24. All right, 3rd and 2. Ball near the 25-yard line. Penix looking, throws quick, finds Drake London across the 30 down to the 35, and that is a 1st down for the Falcons, man. And that is London's first catch since the early part of the game where he unfortunately he fumbled, but picks up about 10 yards there for a first down. Ball at the 35. Single receiver on each side. Handoff to Tyler Algier, who is going to muscle his way for 2 very tough yards. But we do have a flag, and I think it's going to be on Atlanta. And it's a holding call. That's on the veteran left tackle, Jake Matthews. I mean, yeah, technically, but I mean, he barely did anything. that was Grenard acting it up for sure. 1st and 20, Minnesota showing a lot of pressure here. They got 7 guys on the line. Penix, quick throw, finds Drake London, who breaks a tackle to the 40, gets the first down across the 45, down to the 46. Gain of 21 for Drake London. Took that slant route, broke the tackle, and Minnesota sold out, man. Grenard had a chance to blow that play up, but missed. Dude, he looked like one of the, when Mario gets the star and he can just run through people and they pop up in the air? That's what Grenard looked like as Drake London was running past him. It's going to be a run up to the left, and Tyler Algier gets it down to the 50. And Byron Murphy, it looks like, not Byron Murphy. We have a Minnesota player down on the ground. Trying to get the official. Let me see here. Actually, that is practice squad elevated linebacker Gabriel Murphy. Undrafted guy in 2024 out of UCLA. He is down on the ground there. So we're going to go to commercial break, and hopefully the dude is okay. Correct picks as of now. Me 20, wife 15, friend 19. Ooh, okay. All right. There we go. I'm going to tell you right now, man, if I had to put some money on it, I'm saying the wife makes a comeback. No, but that's awesome, man. That's such a cool thing to do with not only with your friends, but especially with your spouse, man. That's awesome. That's something. I think that might be something we do next year. Either we'll do a fantasy team for the channel if people want that. We'll see how many people are interested in that, or at the very least, we'll do kind of like, our picks. I don't know. I'll think about that for sure for the channel. I think that's a great way to kind of get everybody engaged, man. That'd be awesome. All right. Good news is Murphy is up, heading to the blue 10, but he is walking under his own power. So I want to see what happened here. Ooh, looks like he was holding on to that left leg there, specifically the left knee. Yeah, Minnesota's got some strange ducks in the stands right now, man. You can't bring an umbrella, but you can bring a a helmet with some horns to the game. All right. 2nd and 6. Tyler Algier running to the right. He's got some room. He's got the first down. And more tiptoeing out of bounds after a big catch. A big run down that right sideline. Tyler Algier. Way to set the edge, man. That was a great job by the tight end. Let me see who that was. So we got number 5, Drake London, and then 89. I gotta give some love to number 89 for the Falcons. Who was that? That was Charlie Warner, the former Georgia Bulldog 6th-round pick in 2020. Shout out to him, man. He set that edge perfectly for Tyler Algier. And Tyler up the middle to the 30, 25, and taken down near the 20. The Falcons on the move. Let's go. Just a massive gap to the left side of that formation, man. Great job by the offensive line and just springing Tyler Algier loose down to about the 21, I think. The big man on the move. 1st and 10. Ball to 21. 2 receivers to the right side. Penix in the shotgun with, I believe that is actually going to be Tyler Algier again with a nice carry inside the red zone down to about the 18. Forgot. Algier was a Charger, right? Let's see here. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. No, he's always been in Atlanta. 5th-round pick in 2022. Freaking steal. Oh, he was a BYU Cougar. Let's go. All right, we're on the commercial break here, so we're not missing a thing. God dang, dude. Let's freaking go. All right, man. If you guys are watching, please leave a like on this video. Subscribe, man. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers before October, man. We're so close. We're almost there. If you know people that would want to watch this, man, drop a link. Let them know, man. We're looking for people, man. It's always great to have a bunch of people in the chat, man. Right now we got David in the chat, man. One of the best, really funny human beings I've gotten the chance to meet in a way here in the chat. You know, if you're looking for dad jokes, if you're looking for some sport pettiness, this is the man right here. This is the man. But yeah, man. Like I said, we do every possible game that we can do on the channel, man. Primetime games, Packer games, doesn't matter if it's football. We're gonna try to watch it. And we're going to try to keep it going, man. We got 5 games coming up this week. This is the 4th one. We got 1 more tomorrow. And we're just going to keep it rolling. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and thank you so much. All right, we are back here. Let's go. 4:18 left in the game. Atlanta trying to put this game away. Can we finally get a touchdown drive? Please. Please. To the football gods, I humbly ask you for a touchdown. Single receiver to the right. Penix in the shotgun. Bijan Robinson in the backfield. Bijan, almost got sprung loose. Gain of 3 down to about the 17. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with my captions right now. They're going crazy. But we will see here. All right, Minnesota using their timeouts here early, trying to buy some time. They use their second. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up. Ball just past the 17-yard line. Another handoff. Bijan trying to bounce it to the outside. Makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. And we'll get it down to the 11-yard line. I think it's going to be 4th and inches. And now you have a decision to make. Do you kick the field goal and go up by 12, which is a 2-touchdown lead? Or do you say, you know what? We're already up by 2 possessions. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can get a half a yard and just put this game away now. You know me. I like to be aggressive, especially this late, especially when you're already up by 2 possessions. Just put it away, man. Put the final nail in the coffin now. Bijan Robinson not wanting to leave the field, kind of begrudgingly kind of walking off there. But 143 yards on the ground for Bijan, man. 4th and inches, literally half a yard. Let's see what happens. Are they going to do a QB sneak? And it's going to be a false start. Or it's going to be encroachment. I think it's going to be encroachment. I saw a Minnesota player go just over the line. We will see. Yep. On Minnesota, and that is how the game basically gets iced. Jalen Redmond, the big man, number 61, just trying to time the snap. Oh, and actually there was number 15 as well over there. So 1st and goal, ball at the 6 now. Atlanta. Can they punch it into the end zone? Hand off to Tyler Algier, who will just put his head down and get it across the 5 down to about the 4. Go for it. If you fail, get a pick 6. Of course. Of course. As the saying goes, when you fail, get up and just pick 6. You know, you fail, you fall down, you get up, you dust yourself off, and get a pick 6. All right. Penix under center, tight end in motion. It's going to hand off to Tyler Algier, who gets into the end zone for our first touchdown of the night. Atlanta. And it looked like the Minnesota Vikings just gave up on that play, man. I mean, it was great blocking. It was great blocking, but there was almost no resistance. All right, man. Romo is already 5 for 5 on regular field goals. Can he make it 1 for 1 on extra points? And right down the middle. Jeez. Woo. Alrighty. Holy mother of God. We have a touchdown, and it only took 56 and a half minutes. Hallelujah. Oh, my goodness, dude. Way too long. Way too long. The only thing that was slightly saving this game is that we were getting sacks. We were getting turnovers. You know, we had Jurgens all over the ball, man. Jesus. I mean, there was stuff going on in this game, but not a whole lot of offense. All right, man. With very little time left here, the Atlanta Falcons take a commanding 22-6 lead over the Minnesota Vikings. And I think you're seeing the difference between the Chicago team versus Atlanta, who are not necessarily considered Super Bowl contenders. But I mean, JJ McCarthy was able to turn it on in the fourth quarter against Chicago. But so far, man, this kid has just struggled. And I think part of it has been the pressure. Chicago didn't really get a whole lot of pressure on JJ throughout the game. I think there was a couple moments for sure in that Chicago game, but for the most part, especially in the second half, there was very little pressure on JJ McCarthy. He was really able to kind of stand back there. Even if he did roll out, he was able to find space to run. Not in this game. They are keeping this kid hemmed in, and he is struggling to play from within the pocket comfortably. So, again, this is his second NFL game. By no means is that an indication of what this kid is going to be for the rest of his career, but it is it's a nice little welcome to the NFL, man. It's just how it is. Every young quarterback has had it. It's one of those rough games. You're like, damn, dude. You know, this is definitely not like college. This is definitely not just going to be like, oh, I could just turn it on the fourth quarter and score 21 points. It's, you know, man, there's some really good defenses out here. There's some aggressive pass rushers, aggressive corners, and aggressive defensive coordinators, man. And they're gonna pick you apart in the film room, and they're gonna try to prey on your weaknesses and your tendencies. And there isn't a whole lot of film on JJ, but there's gonna be the film is just gonna continue to grow, and this kid's just gonna have to try to stay ahead of the curve as much as he can, and learn from his mistakes. And there's already a flag. All right, I think they're picking up the flag here, so we're not going to worry about that. So 1st and 10, three receivers on the right side there. JJ in the shotgun with a running back to his left. Takes a snap, looking, throws it under pressure, and that'll be incomplete, trying to get it to Mason underneath the coverage. JJ ends up on his back there after taking a hit from a couple Atlanta Falcons pass rushers. All right. 2nd and 10, three receivers to the right side. Again, JJ in the shotgun with the running back to his left. Looking, stays in the pocket, delivers a nice ball to TJ Hawkinson, who will pick up a first down after stiff arming a defender down to the ground, out across the 40 down to about the 44. There we go. All right, 1st and 10. Single receiver to the right. JJ in the shotgun. Looking, takes the snap. Pressure. He's going to run. Keeps his eyes down the field. Finds Jefferson with a nice first down in Atlanta territory. There you go, man. That's what you need to see from this young man. Yes, is Atlanta playing soft coverage? Yes, they are. But when you roll out, you're not just looking to run. You keep your eyes down the field, keep your form, and deliver a freaking strike. Ball at the 36. JJ looking, throwing deep down the field, and is going to be picked off by the Atlanta Falcons. There is a flag on the field. That is Watts, number 30 there. And we will see what the flag is. Illegal shift on the offense. That'll be declined, and the interception will stand. For the second time tonight, J.J. McCarthy is intercepted. Nearly had a third in the third quarter. Nearly had a second in the third quarter, which would have been this third one. But, yeah, man, a frustrating night for the Minnesota Vikings. Trying to look for Watts here, number 31. Where is he? Xavier Watts, and it's the rookie. The rookie third-round pick out of Notre Dame gets his first career interception. Let's freaking go, man. Congratulations to that young man. We like to celebrate people's accomplishments on this channel, man. Especially the first ones, man. That's huge. 1st and 10. Tyler Algier from inside the 5 gets it down to the 10. And the Atlanta Falcons, man, are rolling. Jefferson was looking for a flag. There was definitely a little bit of a tug towards the top part of that route, man, when he was trying to turn it across to the sidelines. And I don't think that was still even a great throw, man. Even if Watts wasn't over the top, there were still already 2 defenders that were covering that side of the field. So, yeah, throwing it into triple coverage. Yes, it's Jefferson. Yes, he probably can make a catch, but you just can't do that, man. Not this late. As a Packer fan, I think it was a great throw. Don't get me wrong. This cheesehead is working. I'm going to tell you right now. This bad boy. Some good juju. Some good Green Bay juju happening with this bad boy right here. Like I said, there's a reason I have it right here. Especially on this side specifically. You know, it's like Wi-Fi. The closer you have the curse to the subject, the stronger the effects will be. But yeah, man, as a Packer fan, I'm giddy. Every single team in the NFC has lost a game, except for the Packers. Yeah, Chicago went to 0-2. Minnesota is going to get their first loss of the season. And Detroit obviously lost in week 1. So, all good on Green Bay's side, man. Let's go. All right. We're back from the 2-minute warning here. Atlanta trying to run out the rest of this clock here, which if they can get a first down, they will be able to. 2nd and 3, ball at the 10. Minnesota mugging the line of scrimmage here. They got 7 guys on the line. Hand off to Tyler Algier, and he's going to be good for about a yard, maybe 2. Yeah, so Minnesota has Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. So they have some decent games here. And then Atlanta has Carolina, Washington before getting a bye, and then they had to go to then they had to play Buffalo and then go to San Francisco. So not the easiest schedule. They could easily fall to 1-3 or go 1-3 during that stretch, but I don't know. This defense looked good. Handoff, Tyler Algier, and he will be near the first down. I think he's going to be about half a yard shy. Minnesota has no timeouts, so they can't stop the clock, and that'll bring it probably down to about 25 to 20 seconds once they punt this one away. Come on. Come on. All right, Atlanta uses a timeout here. Just trying to shave off as much clock as they can. Stop the clock at 28 seconds. And man, if you guys are still here, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this Sunday night game wasn't what we were hoping for or expecting, but I appreciate you sticking around, man. I do. Like I said, we had some good defensive performances from both teams, but the offenses definitely lacked some excitement. But I guarantee you, man, usually when there's a game like this, that means the next game that we're going to stream here probably going to be a pretty good one. So it's going to be fair con. Oh, it's fumbled, and Atlanta picks it up. Oh, my God. When it rains, it pours, and that's just a perfect way to end this game. Damn. Damn, dude, that's a rough one, man. Like you're. So anyway, it was the rookie Miles Price, undrafted kid out of Indiana. He's actually had a pretty darn good night, man, on some returns. But just that's tough, man. Especially when you're an undrafted guy, man. You're so close to the bubble. A play like that could be that could be it for you, for his time in Minnesota. Hopefully it's not, but that's a rough one. Michael Penix takes a knee, and that is the end of the game. And it was a rough night for the Minnesota Vikings, man. We'll look at the final stats here as the clock keeps rolling. Let me update and finalize the score here first. One of the most like horrifying moments of this young man's career, and David hits us up in the chat with that was awesome. Oh my God, Packer Nation 12. What's going on? McCarthy needs to go apply at McDonald's. I mean, McCarthy. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, JJ. I mean, I don't think he needs a promotion now. I mean, if he's gonna play like this, I want him. I want the Minnesota Vikings to give him a lifetime contract. This is like having Jay Cutler in the Minnesota Vikings. So I don't know, Packer Nation. I almost disagree with you on that one, man. I don't know. I mean, if this is how McCarthy's gonna play, as a Packer fan, I wouldn't hate it. Let me see here. All right, let's update the records here. Atlanta moves to 1-1. And man, if you're just joining us on a disastrous night for the Minnesota Vikings, a beautiful night, honestly. This cheesehead right here. I told you to begin the game, I wanted to put it out here to curse the Vikings, and it worked like a charm. Almost too well, man. It's almost terrifying. Caleb Williams is the same way. Caleb Williams. I do like what he does as a quarterback at times, but man, dude, that team around him is just there is no rhythm to how they're playing. And unfortunately, Williams is trying. There comes a point in the game where it looks like in the beginning he's trying to stay within the system, and then at some point in the game he just says, "Forget about it. I'm just gonna try to play hero ball," and it just gets worse and worse. Because him and his offensive line, as well as the offensive players, they're not on the same page with Williams when he goes off script. Whether it's time or whether it's just Caleb is just trying to do too much. They're just not meshing together, and they don't know what's going on, and it just gets dysfunctional. So, yeah, I would be surprised. Yeah, I agree with you, man. These young quarterbacks in the NFC, they're struggling, and I think at this point, there's a good chance. It's still early. I'm not gonna write off anybody, obviously after week 2, but there's a good chance the NFC North is just a 2-horse race: Detroit and Green Bay. Dahlia, watching them was relaxing, makes me feel a little bit better while I'm under the weather. Good night, everyone. Go Pack, go. Hey, good night to you. Feel better. Hopefully you can get some rest. So, yeah. Packers Bowl this year, man. This is the year coming from a fam of 37 years. Oh, baby. Let's go, man. Absolutely. I mean, dude, that defense, they're built completely different, man. That through 2 weeks, I have never seen the Packers defense be this dominant. Even in 2011 when they won the Super Bowl, they were good, but they were not this dominant. Um, yeah, like don't get me wrong, that 2011 actually they Clay Matthews, I think he started out the season with like three sacks in each of the first 2 games. So they were looking good to start the year. But man, dude, this team has a different feel to it. It's not just one guy dominating. You got Rashawn Gary, you got Lucas Van Ness playing the best of his career. You got obviously Micah Parsons almost every single snap getting pressure. You got Kobe Wooden, you have Devontae Wyatt, you have the middle linebackers making plays around the line of scrimmage and getting some coverage. You got corners that you're barely noticing the coverage of the Packers because it's been so good. So, yeah, man, I agree with you. They've been great. I agree, man. Rodgers never had a defense this dominant. No. The only thing that I can think of was 2011. They were good. They were great. I think the secondary was amazing back then. I think that 2011 secondary with Nick Collins, Tramon Williams, Charles Woodson, no, Al Harris was not there. But, yeah, Sam Shields, Jesus. They were just so packed that back end that the front end was just able to eventually get enough pressure with Clay Matthews, Colin Jenkins. But this Packers defense right now, I think the back end is still trying to find its footing. But, man, dude, it's going to be fun to see how they progress throughout the season. But that front seven of the Packers might be the best in football right now. So I can agree with you, man. Let me move the Vikings to a imperfect 1-1. There we go. But yeah, very quickly looking at the numbers here. Vikings less than 200 total yards, average just 4.3 yards per play. Gave up, lost 2 fumbles, threw 2 interceptions, was sacked 6 times in this game. That's rough, man. We should dominate the Browns next week. We should, man. The Browns are always weird, man. Just when you think they're playing terrible, they have a great game. So definitely, the Packers have to be ready to compete, especially offensively. I think the Packers have done well offensively, but there's been long stretches where they don't move the ball that well and they don't get points. And I think for the Packers defense to continue to dominate, the Packers offense needs to kind of get the running game going, especially to one, eat up as much clock and make sure that that defense doesn't get worn out towards the end of the game. And then, yeah, man, it's just the Packers offense has looked good, but I think it could play a lot better. Are the Bears that bad or are the Lions still good? I think the Lions are still good. Once again, when you lose, not only did they lose their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator, but if you look at the amount of other coaches that went with Ben Johnson, went with Aaron Glenn, they lost more than just 2 coaches in Detroit. They lost a handful on each side, and that sometimes that takes time. You also have Hutch coming back from a major injury. That was an ugly injury to that knee. So sometimes, especially with that kind of stuff, it's a mental thing as well as a physical thing. So Hutch is probably still trying to get going. I think when he plays well, that Detroit defense, especially that front seven, plays very differently. On top of that, I think the secondary for the Lions is struggling to try to find its footing. They're not getting as many turnovers as they used to. I'm not sure about this week or today. I would have to look at the stats, but that's what I saw in week 1. And then for the offense, obviously they put up 52 points, so they're probably back to their normal selves. But I think there was just a little bit, I think the pressure on Goff. And when you look at historically, even since Goff has been with Detroit, when you move him off the spot, his accuracy, his decision-making take a massive nosedive. That's just historic with Goff, even in his time in Detroit where he's been a borderline top 5 quarterback. When you move him off the spot, very bad things happen to Jared Goff and the Lions. So that's what I think. I think Detroit is still going to be there at the end. I think the Packers still need to continue to, get better because I don't think Detroit is just going to fall apart and go away. They're too well coached. They have too much talent that's still there, and they have a great mentality, man. It's one thing if they weren't talented, but when you have that nasty, I almost swore, nasty grit to just say, I don't care, we're gonna beat you, even if we're losing, that eventually wears out teams. So I think Detroit is still one of the more dangerous teams in the NFC. Sorry, that was a lot, so I apologize. I feel like the Pack left a lot of points there in Thursday night. We should have had 40. Absolutely. The throws to Matthew Golden, there was obviously the 2. One was in the end zone that was just slightly underthrown. I think when I looked at the film, it was Jordan Love started on the left side, which is by design. And then by the time he made it all the way to where Golden was on the right side of the formation, he was a little late, and he kind of threw up a pass that was just didn't have enough on it. Plus, there was some pressure there as well. So I think that's why Jordan was so late to get to Golden. And then the last throw to Golden where he just split the defenders, and that was just Jordan just probably putting a little bit too much on it, man. Because I think, one, this is a young receiver. This is Golden. He's only had 2 games with him, really. And he's still trying to figure out. There's a difference between practice speed, because you're not really going 100% because, you're trying to be safe. You're more trying to get the technique down versus game speed. And I think eventually Golden and Love are going to find their rhythm. They're going to know, I think next time, Jordan is going to be able to hit him in stride. So I think he was like, oh, the worst thing I could do is underthrow this because one, that means he's not going to catch it, but also all the defenders are behind Golden. So if you underthrow it, you're going to get picked. But if you overthrow it, the worst thing that happens is an incomplete pass. So that's what I think. You think Love is the next franchise WB for us? Quarterback. Oh, 100%. 100%. Jordan Love has played too well for long stretches. Like I think I've talked about this in his first season. Like it was rough, but there was flashes of just incredible talent, incredible arm talent. But then in that second half, especially that Cowboys game, the Minnesota game that got us into the playoffs. When you look at all those games in sequence, and as a person that literally saw Rodgers develop from a backup from his first official kind of start as a player in the NFL when Brett Favre got hurt during the Dallas game on Thursday night to when his first start was against Minnesota. I saw that progression. I saw that Rodgers went from a potential bust to, oh, this kid can play, to, oh, this is the guy. And Jordan Love is taking those steps. And when you look at his arm talent, his decision making is getting significantly better. His bad decision making or throws are minimized, have been getting less and less as his career has gone on, and that's a great progression. You don't really see that with quarterbacks. Like when you look at Lawrence over there in Jacksonville, great talent, has all the athleticism that you would want, but his decision making is so up and down, and he's been in the league for a long time. One week you're getting a great performance, the next week he looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. I haven't seen that from Jordan. There's been one or two games over the last two seasons where he's like, you're like, ah, man, this wasn't his best game. But like, for the most part, he has been consistently one of the better quarterbacks of the last 3 years. And I don't think you can play it at that level for that many years in this system against these teams, and you just be like, he just got lucky. So I think he is. I think so. Sorry. Once again, long-winded answer to yes, I believe he's the franchise quarterback for the Packers for the next decade. I think with the Packers defense being so dominant, they're going to allow Love to force the ball down the field. Oh, absolutely. And the Packers love to take shots. That's the one thing I do like about Matt LaFleur. No matter how the game is going, he's gonna challenge his guys to get the ball down the field. They like big chunk plays. They're not afraid of it, and then just push the ball down the field, man. Keep the defense honest. Keep that secondary from getting up and affecting the running game as well. And when you have a guy like Jacobs, that running game is always going to be a threat, and that's only going to make it's only going to make Jordan Love better as well as the receivers around him. So I think it's more about the receivers and the quarterback getting on the same page. But once they do, man, it's going to be dangerous because the Packers have weapons. So, yeah. Yep. Let me see here. But yeah. No, Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback right now, and if he can continue to progress in his third year, I think this is the year that you could see him take that next jump into the elite echelon, and that's what you saw with Aaron Rodgers. His first year, they went 6-10. He looked good at times, but he struggled to one play well down the stretch in the second half of the games, especially in the fourth. There was many opportunities for Aaron Rodgers in his first year as a starter to win the game at the end, but it always ended with an interception, him getting sacked, him fumbling the ball, and then there was already talk of him. He's not a finisher. He's not going to be able to win you the big game or make you come back. But then in his second year, his first game in 2009 against Chicago, throws a 50-yard touchdown to Greg Jennings to get a comeback victory over the Bears. And then you just saw him continue to progress. His third year, even that wasn't perfect. The year that they won the Super Bowl, he threw for less touchdowns than he did the previous year. He missed a game. He's dealt with concussions. The Packers, they looked like a hot team heading into the playoffs, but by no means were they the favorites. But then Rodgers, in that Atlanta game against in the Eagles game, he looked good. But then in that Atlanta game against Matt Ryan, the number one seeded Atlanta Falcons, that was the game where you saw the Rodgers that we know. He was elite, throwing touchdowns, getting out of sacks, making guys miss. It's just like that was the one of the best games I've ever seen from a quarterback, and we've seen that with Jordan Love. That Dallas game was just insane. Everything he could have done was the right move, and you don't do that by accident. You don't do that against a Dan Quinn defense. You don't do that against a well star-studded Cowboys team. So that's my opinion. Is it me or what? I feel like this is the best Packers team I've seen play in the last 10 years. I won't go that far just because there's only been 2 games. We got to see what happens after this. If this is in late November or early December and they're playing like this, I will say yes. But that 2016 team was really good. They had Julius Peppers. They had some great freaking players on that defense, and then the offense. I think they finished as the number 1 offense in the NFL. I think they finished with the second or third most points in franchise history back in 2016, 2017. I think 2016. Yeah, man. And the Packers, they were the number 1 seed in 2020, 2021, I think. They've had some really good teams, man. But I think this team, just because they're so young, they're so explosive on both sides of the ball, I think they do have the opportunity to make their stamp on the franchise's history. But let's pump the brakes whether they're the best in the last 10 years. I want to see a few more because this is September football. There's a lot of teams that are still trying to feel out their own teams. There's still a lot of young guys trying to figure out where they are in the system. So once I think late October into November, we're gonna know what this Packers team really is during that time. Call me crazy. I do think the Packers see a bowl within the next 3 years. I mean, they're built to it. They're built for it, man. They have the quarterback. They have the running back. They have the offensive line. They have the young weapons that you want, and they're cheap as well. The receivers, and then defensively, you always want to look at what they have. They always want to have, can they stop the run? Packers can stop the run, not just this year, but they showed last year. Can they get to the quarterback? That was the one thing that was really missing from the defense last year. They were at times able to get to the quarterback against some really bad teams, but against the really good teams, they struggled. They have not struggled at all. They've gone up against Washington and Detroit, a team that finished in Detroit, number 1 seed, best record in the NFL, and then against the Washington Commanders, a team that was literally 1 game away from a Super Bowl berth, and they absolutely handled their offenses. So, yeah, the Packers, they look good, man. Defensively, stop the run, get to the quarterback, and play good coverage. They're doing all 3 right now. And offensively, they haven't been perfect, but they've still been able to put up nearly 30 points despite not playing a full, complete game offensively. Thoughts on Jaden Daniels? Jaden Daniels, let me see here. Smooth quarterback, man. Everything he seems to do, even when he's struggling, he seems smooth with it. The way he's able to get out of the pocket seems like he's been doing it for 5, 6, 8 seasons in the NFL. Never seems to be really rattled. Even during that Packer game, he was still smiling after getting sacked or hit. It wasn't until the very, very end, after those hits started to accumulate a little bit, you could see him kind of, wincing here and there, taking, after a while. But for about 3 quarters, man, Jaden Daniels was still very much, hey, this is all good, man. This is football, whatever. I think he's a really talented quarterback, man. I like his arm. He's got the arm to make any throw. He's athletic. He's smart as heck, and he seems to just be able to raise the level of the players around him, which is kind of I don't want to say it, it's cliche at times, but when it's true, man. Jaden Daniels has made that offense way better. I don't think you can plug just any quarterback into that system and it would work. Jaden Daniels makes that offense better, makes everybody on that team better. And that's the mark of a future franchise quarterback, in my opinion. And I think that's what Daniels is. Daniels is a dang good quarterback. I just hope he stays healthy because when that guy is healthy, man, the NFL is so much better to watch. It's more exciting. It's awesome. So, yeah, that's my thought on him. Good quarterback, good accuracy, can run, and seems to be a good leader and has a lot of love and respect from his teammates. All right, let me see here. Yeah, man. What a wild Sunday night, man. We're gonna be live tomorrow for Tampa versus Houston. That's gonna be a big game for both of those teams. And Buccaneers are trying to move to 2-0, and I think the Texans are trying to move. Are they also going to be 2-0, or did they lose last week? I completely forgot. Give me 1 second here. But I hope that answered your question, my dude. Also, thank you so much for sticking around, man. I appreciate you. Buccaneers, let's see here. Houston did lose in week 1. I forgot. Okay. So, yeah, they're trying to get in the winning column this season. CJ Stroud, man. Oh, yeah, they did lose. It was like a last-second field goal, I think. That's right. Let me see here. But, yeah. So, holy cow, man. What a Sunday, man. We did about almost 10 hours. is 10 hours of football, man. It was been a really, really fun Sunday. We had some wild stuff happen the first couple games, but I'm glad this went without a hitch. David, Houston is winless. That is correct. Yeah, I just looked. I thought it was a field goal. No, they lost 14-9 to the Rams. So yeah, I think that was one of the few games that I didn't get a chance to watch the highlights because it was such a low scoring game. I didn't really bother. So I probably should watch that so I can actually catch up and know every team's kind of record at least, kind of. Right on. But yeah, man. Whew. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, please like and subscribe, man. We're trying to get to 100 before October. It's a big help to the channel, man. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody popping in here at the end, especially after the game is lost. But thank you. But yeah. Hey, 94 subscribers. Let's go. Heck yeah. Let's go. The road to 100, man, is getting closer. Getting closer. Heck yeah. Thank you. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for me, man. Heck of a night, heck of a game towards the end, man. Defenses were winning big in this game, but it kind of fell apart. It got worse in the fourth quarter for J.J. McCarthy and that Minnesota offense. The turnovers started to become more frequent. The mistakes started to happen a lot more frequently as well, and just the disarray on that Minnesota offense, which is not too surprising, man. It's a young team, young quarterback, and they're gonna have growing pains. So hopefully they can kind of grow from this. I mean, as a Packer fan, we were not too far away from that. In Jordan's first couple, I would say 2 months of the NFL season, he did not look like a franchise quarterback. He looked a little rough. The Packers, as a whole, did not play well. But eventually they got through it. They got better. They learned from it. And right now, they are borderline Super Bowl favorites. So for Vikings fans, it's going to be a rough couple weeks. There's going to be some highs. There's going to be some lows. But trust me, man, stick with it. Kevin O'Connell is a heck of a coach. And J.J. McCarthy has some traits of being a pretty darn good quarterback. I'm not completely sold on the kid yet, but I do believe that he has pretty decent traits that made him a first round pick. I can see why Minnesota took a chance on him. So it got more awesome for us Packer fans. The last punt by Atlanta was fun. Yeah, that's a rough one, man. That was the undrafted kid. I'm trying to think of his name now. Hold on, Miles Price out of Indiana. He was having a pretty decent game, man. He was making some good returns, and then it just that last one, man. He fair caught it. I think he looked down at the see if he can make a play, and he just took his eyes off the ball a little too early, and it just didn't secure it. And it was just such a deflating, deflating way to end a bad loss for Minnesota. So again, as a Packer fan, I love it, but as a human being, I feel for the kid. Hopefully, he can stick around and give himself a second opportunity to, make amends, make up for it. Because there's nothing that's worse than making a mistake, and that's your last legacy on a team. So, yeah. But Packers atop the NFC North officially. Everybody else has lost. You guys suck. And the Packers are the best. Let's go. But yeah, man. Appreciate you guys. Dahlia, David, Stegosaurus, Packer Nation 12. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please have a great night. Hopefully your weekend was great. Hopefully you don't have to wake up too early tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday night. Tampa Bay going to Houston. Should be a good game. Two really good teams that have some potential. And hopefully we get a more exciting matchup offensively than we did tonight. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it from me. Again, my name is Dave, and I'm not a coach.